Hello viewers, this is Kisi and welcome back to my channel. In this 10th part of my tutorial series working with step 7, I'll walk you through how to create FC in step 7. Before we start, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and also press on the notification button so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Also like and subscribe. Comment below so that it will aid me to improve on this tutorial series. To get started, we'll move to our main screen and then start step 7. Okay, so we'll be using our getting started project. So I'll click on cancel to close. Okay, we have our project right here. All right, so today what we are going to talk about is creating an FC. So basically in terms of hierarchy, FC is always below the OB hierarchy. FC are just like FBs, but the differences are that FCs do not have static in their local declaration, and also FCs do not generate their own DBs whenever they are called. So to create an FC, you have to right click in the schematic manager window, and then you move to insert new objects, and then you go to, we have the function block, which is the FB, and then you move to function. So this is our first FC that we are creating. So it's going to be our FC1, and then we have to give it a name. You can implement FCs in two ways. One, FCs will help you to organize your code. So let's say, for instance, if you are having a code, close this one first, and then let's have a view of OB1. So we have our getting started program open right here, and then have a look. So you can see that from the beginning of our tutorials, we've been creating almost all our logics in OB1. Now, this is basically not a best practice because you need to organize your code in such a way that it's more readable and easy to debug or troubleshoot. Okay, so one way to do this is to use FCs. So basically, application of FC is to organize your code so that you'll be able to easily troubleshoot and then easily read. Okay, so to do this, we need to identify which of the logics that we've created are common to each other, are performing the same task, and then we can group them, create an FC, give it a specific name that suits that particular task that the logic is executing. So we have an example right here that we have our direct online, we have our forward reverse, and also logic. So in this case, we will have a look that this particular logic is controlling an elevator, which means the direct online will start the elevator lubrication pump, and then the forward reverse are the logic that will be sending the elevator up and down. So we create an FC so that we can copy all these logics into it to make it more readable and then make it more organized. So this is one part of using an FC. The other part is just like how we created an FB and then encapsulate sections of our code that it becomes more reusable. And then also in creating an FC, there are no static local variables. So you can create static local variables when you are creating an FC. So let's look at our first example, creating an FC to organize our code. So I'll go back to the schematic manager interface. I'll right click and then move to insert a new object and then create my first FC, which, okay, so under this function, we've agreed that we are creating this function for an elevator. So I'll say elevator. Okay, so the symbolic name is elevator, and then I can call this elevator control. It's in ladder language, so I will leave it as such and then click OK. So my first FC is created. So I can double click on it to open, and we can see that the interface is just like that of the OB. So to swap between windows, you can come to Windows and you can see that you have your OB open right here and then our FC also here. So we'll move into our OB programming interface and then copy this particular logics that we have here into our FC. Okay, so I will select the first one, click on Shift, select next, select the other one, which is the reverse. I'll cut and then move back to the FC window, select the first network and then paste. Okay, so I have all the logics right here. I can delete this first network. So I have my direct online network, I have my forward and then the reverse network as well. Okay, so now with this, we can now save our FC. Before this FC can be executed, we need to call the FC in OB1, just as we did for FBs as well. So I'll minimize this one, and because we'll be using the simulator, let me start the simulator. Simulator is started. I can put it into run mode, but before then I have to download the blocks, other blocks into the simulator, because I just opened it. So I'll come back to station and move to download and download other blocks into the simulator. Okay, other blocks are gone now. So I'll go back into my programming interface. Now with the simulator active, let me put the simulator into run mode. Okay, it's in run mode. I go back to, I'm now on the FC interface, and then we can see right here that this is the getting started, and then we are in the FC right here. So I'll save again and then click on download to download the FC. Now we can go online to monitor whether our FC is executing correctly. And let's see what happens. Immediately I click online, it's online, alright, but we can see that it is not running. The reason being that I need to call this FC in OB1 before it becomes executable, or it will be executed. So I'll go back to window, and then click on go back to OB1. I'll create a new network and then call it elevator, because this is where we are going to call our elevator logic. Okay, so we can call this FC in two ways. We can come to the FC block, and then when we drop this plus button, we should be able to see our elevator FC. I can then drag and drop it, and it will work perfectly. The next way that you can call it is to create a network. So let me delete this first approach and then use the next approach. Is to call it using the statement list. So which means that one I have to change view to statement list. And then when I come to the elevator point, I can click right here, and I use the term call, and then I can specify the FC name, FC1, and I say enter. Immediately you can see that the system has called FC1, and when I change the view to ladder logic, I can see that it's still in statement list called FC1, and it's supposed to work perfectly. But then we'll go back and use our old style of doing it. So I'll delete this one, insert, and then I can call my FC, drag and drop. So I can save and download. Okay, now our FC is downloaded. We go back to the FC to see whether we can simulate. So I can go online again, and then voila, we can see that the FC is executing. So always remember that when you create FCs, you create FBs, you need to call them in OB1 before they can be executed. Okay, so after calling it in OB1, we can test our program to see if it's working perfectly, just as it was doing whilst in OB1. Okay, so I can go online. Okay, so our pump is already running. I can stop it, clicking 0.1 to stop, and then I can start again for demonstration purpose. So I can click on start for it to start. Also, the forward movement, I want to move in the forward direction. I click on 0.4 for the elevator to move forward. To move reverse, I need to stop the forward movements, and I can click on 0.5 to test the down movement. Okay, so basically how you organize your code by creating an FC and then calling the FC in OB1. So when we go back to OB1, we can see that our program is organized, and then we can see that this is our elevator. So immediately I see my elevator code, I know directly that this is the particular function that holds all the logics to control the elevator. So when I go back to the interface, that is the schematic manager interface, I can go to this elevator FC, and when I double click it, you can then go inside and have a look at what exactly is happening in this particular FC. Okay, so this will bring us to the end of this part, the first part of creating FC in step 7. In the next part, we will look at the second way of creating an FC, where you can give it input and output just like creating an FB and make it reusable. Viewers, this brings us to the end. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next part. Bye bye.